We were talking earlier about the perversions in public policy that become radically anti-health and anti-public safety, all wrapped in some other language that's a contradiction. And I've been banging on the anti-human nature of lockdowns and all of these social problems and
Yep.
individual health problems that have emerged because of treating people like lab rats. Another example of that, something that you guys have worked on quite a bit, is the banning of Uber, which effectively makes it, effectively encourages drunk driving.
Yeah, yeah, and that's not just an opinion anymore. We see it time and time again in all different cities and different countries, different cultures. When you take away the faster, safer, cheaper mode of transportation, that people shouldn't do it, but they leave the bar, they can't get a taxi, and they think, oh, I'll roll the dice, and obviously that can have lethal consequences. And we've seen there was a police chief in Texas when there was a proposed ban who came out and said, do not do this. It will increase drunk driving. We partnered on a campaign with Mothers Against Drunk Driving in Toronto, highlighting the consequences of Toronto City Council putting a cap on Uber drivers going right into the holiday season, which you couldn't pick a worse time. You think Christmas parties,
Yeah.
celebrations, the drinks are flowing, people are having a good time. They're likely on vacation. Road conditions are worse, especially where I live. Just a recipe, a very toxic recipe for disaster. And yeah, we've been pretty vocal on that not only should consumers have access to it because they want it, right? That's, in my view, justification enough.
Yeah.
But if we get beyond that into the policy implications and the externalities, these have real world implications, and they have real world implications on some of the ugliest things we want to avoid, right? Nobody wants to see their friend get in a car after having too many. Nobody wants to hear about someone being in an accident because somebody else made that stupid decision. And yet we want to create an environment where it's more likely for people to make those decisions. And yeah, it just leaves you scratching your head. And in some sense, I think a lot of policymakers will have the horse blinders on, where it's like externalities be damned. I'm just focused on,
We're going to fix this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to listen to the opposition. I'm not going to listen to anything else that could happen as a result. And then you get some really unfortunate consequences.
Friedrich Hayek would have called that fatal conceit.
He would, yes.
And one of the rules of this show is whenever I quote Hayek, we drink.
There we go.
So there it is.
Cheers.
Cheers.